Good morning, everybody. Very good weekend. Thank you for asking. So, let's go over the point of view of this week. So, first of all, we had a gap, I believe, this morning. Do we not? Do we have an opening gap? Yeah, so this was the opening gap that we had actually. So, or the downwards gap actually. So it moved about 33 points downwards. You can't see it anymore because it's closed up. First thought process is actually, I believe that we will go take out that low. You have a huge gap below and then have that bullish reaction back off of this. So let's be a bit patient. Yeah, if we go up, we will take out all these highs here, right here. So if we go down, probably we end up in this value gap right here. That huge one that we created of the news. That was a 4-hour value gap right here. We just tapped it in the previous 4-hour. So I do believe we have a little bit more downside first to get this gap closed a bit more and then get that push up. The structure in the daily looked bullish again, so we did not close below that one, so this is okay. We came to a daily for value gap, we pressed the previous one, so let's see how today actually closes. If we can close above these highs somewhere today or this week, that would be amazing to see. That means that we actually continue the upward trend. How was everybody's weekend? Did you all have some fun? Morning Titian, morning Ketchup, morning Antonio, good morning Nicolas. We do not have any news at this moment. At 10 o'clock we do have some news. But for the rest of the day it's actually quite calm. Just US new home sales, so maybe those can do a little bit of the market in the afternoon session or an NY session, and for the rest tomorrow we got some news. Okay, same as 28 and 29 August, we also have some bigger news events. I believe we just created equal highs right here. Oh, on NQ, NQ just took them, and on M and Q these are equals. Yeah, so NQ did take that high. On M and Q they are equal highs. Session. Yeah, main thought process is still the same. We take out that low and then go up higher. So John, what happened on Friday? I talked about the news. Do we expect that? The move to the upside, that was a huge move actually. This candle. Could we prevent it of getting stopped out? Yes. We just didn't play our stop grade on the orb on the afternoon session, but actually, was this predicted? They are cutting the rates, so this will happen. So when they cut rates, that means that the markets will be bullish again. So they're still hoping, and this looks like that will be that push. So for today, like I said, we will go down here and then continue. And how does affect FOMC on September? And how does... That's a good question. I try not to watch too much news and just watch the charts day by day. So see what we can actually get out of the market step by step, and not because we are actually intraday traders and we are less affected by news, huge news events. Like this one was actually a straight push up in a minute candle. This was actually huge. And actually here we were trading the orb range. I was actually a 5 minute for value gap right here. We did not put our stop correct, so this was a for value gap right here. And what does it say after for value gap created? We put our stop at this low. We actually put our stop right here. So instead of that low, and that would have paid out. Huge move. Let's see how we react out of this gap right here that we are now trading into. That's a 5 minute gap. This was a bullish structure actually, creating. But it's normal after the market did a move for, how many points was this actually? But we're a bit slow today, so that was a 381 point move up with a huge lot of imbalance, and this is actually with a lot of orders still open, so we probably will go to that part. 8:15, so we have a range. So if you want to know if anybody can actually predict these kind of moves, no, nobody can. That was actually immediately when he started speaking, that was the move. So that was pre-organized, if you ask me. If you have a 300 point move up or a 380 point move up in 15 minutes, at exactly the first minute when he starts speaking, that's actually insane to see. Look, that was... Look at that 1 minute candle. That was exactly when he started speaking. That was a 230 point move up in 3 minutes. If the market does not come down to these lows and you actually want to go higher, we will take out all of this. So we actually got two good ranges from the exact spot that we are. We're actually exactly in the middle of those ranges too. So downside, yeah, we can actually come back halfway this gap here. So if you would take a 15, halfway this gap is definitely doable. We do need to make sure once we get on this low how we react, because the most liquidity will be under this one. But if we go up, yeah, that would be my target actually. So same here, if we watch actually this structure, there's actually a bullish structure coming out of it. So we created the value gap right here, we tapped it. The only thing that's still open right here is that 1 hour right here. For the rest actually, this looks like still a bullish structure. We had a huge push up, we came back, we reacted a little bit, we took some liquidity, and now we could continue or just as easy come back to that low to take out those imbalances right here. So first 5 minutes, no close. We did give it a value gap right here, so that's a good sign. Was it one? No, it was not one. Right, if we close to the downsides, it looks like stops will be placed. Do we have a cap? I don't see one. We have one here. I don't think we have another one, so we could put our stop just above halfway. Pretty small range then. 7-point range. Speel, is het? Mijn mannetje. Die balletjes met balletjes aan het spelen. Okay, 2 more minutes. Let's see if we have a close, yes or no. This could actually be a very decent short if we can take this. Yeah, that would be a great trade. Like I said, if we move up, we will probably go to Asia high at least, and even maybe New York's high from last week. But I do want to see some kind of direction that we actually want to go into, because if we stay here the whole time, I prefer not to. So if we move lower, stop should be at 23,000. Not even straight. Uh, 563. That's where I put my stop. That was no close, but immediately the candle got out of it. Do we have a close on M and Q? Ah. Look at this. We actually jumped down. So that was a close. That was actually a great entry spot. But it's too bad we didn't close outside the orb range. So no close, no trade, guys. Be patient. 3 more minutes. Let's see if we get it now. So if we're close to the downside, we are going shorted, people. So I need to go to the bathroom for a second, so I cannot sit here for another 2.5 minutes. That would not be possible for myself. So I'll be right back. If we're close to the downside, we're shorting, right? So everybody hears? So close. So that was a no close. I knew I would never be back in time, so. Yeah. Good morning, Steven. Yes, we are waiting. We are being patient until that 5 minute actually closes below. So, it's on the screen. I am not in a trade. We did need that. Yeah, thank you for getting that support, but I'm doing that while I'm meditating. Yes, then I can keep it in. But once I'm trading, I'm in a different state, guys. It's not a meditation state while I'm in, while I'm trading. Luckily I went first to the bathroom and then read your context, Antonio. Anthony. Who is actually still following their plan? Come on, guys. Please say all of you. I would love to hear this. This is actually a very decent trade that we can take. That's a 4R all the way down. Just to Asia low. And if Asia low gets taken, we probably will definitely take also a New York session, so that means actually we can get a 6 out of this trade. Almost 6. So we got about 2.5 minutes to go. If we get that confirmation, that would actually be a very great sign that we go lower. The only thing I don't like is that NQ or MNQ has equal highs right here. That's the only thing I don't like about this. But that's my brain talking. Not following the plan, of course. If we can follow this and we can actually take it all the way down here, that's actually a very beautiful play that we could take. Not the fastest market again. So this is actually always expected after a huge move up that we actually consolidate sometimes before we actually have that movement again. You actually see this everywhere. After a huge move we actually go a little bit sideways and then continue and move. Nice. Good one, Blake. Good one, Nicholas. Happy to hear that you guys are following your plan. So this is actually the only thing a good trader needs to do, is being able to follow a structured plan. And don't look at the outcome of one trade, but just of 100. So if a day goes not great and you followed your plan, that's actually a good day. I know, so for people that just new traders, that's actually not the most logical thinking, but trading is not logical. So I've got 2 seconds. Do we have that close? Oh, come on guys, again not? Was that a close on an MQ? Oh, let me take this all the speed beside it. That was no close, guys, so that was on the line itself. The low was 65. Yeah, that was exactly the same distance. So NQ said no close. I do believe it will definitely go to that stage here. 2 minutes. Let's hope the market has a bit of patience now for us. Because that was a very decent short. This is still a decent short, still too hard till Asia low, so if we go through we'll probably take Asia low out immediately. So 1 minute. And if we get under Asia low, let's see if we can get it all the way to the previous. That's 4R from here, so that's actually decent to play. So 1 minute until that close. If this now exactly came out a bit more, that would actually be already better play of the day. Yeah, sometimes this can happen. We gotta live with it. Come on, seriously? So that's the close right here. That was a big fall already, but yeah. Stop should be at still 23,563. And now let's see if this market wants to continue. do want to see that continuation rather fast right here. So Emily, if the orb closes on the line itself, it needs to close outside. So if it closes on the orb line, it doesn't count. Because we did not close actually outside. If you put this in your plan and you want to take it when it closes on the orb itself, then you have to take it always when it closes on the orb itself. Yeah. First 5 minutes was a slow one, but we have actually now created a gap above here, so if we can tap this, we can actually start adding. So this could be an add. Depends on where we actually close our body. Same target. You can see it's a nice structured 15 candle minute, came into a value gap. So if we push through here and go immediately to that low, yeah, this will fall definitely to this. And even if we get here, there's still a possibility that we fall lower. So make sure once we get to that 23,508 that you're able to drag your TP a little bit lower. Because we can actually still fall definitely to 23,422. Will depend on how much or how strong the market actually reacts when we get to that low. but I cannot predict them before. I need to be patient until we get there, and then we can just follow along. Yeah, the best trade would have been if we closed the first time just about that orb and then immediately could jump in. That would have already been a huge trade. So you're in with 2 contracts, okay? So first point of interest would actually be Asia low. So this would be actually first target. So let's see how we react on Asia low itself, and then we will probably, if we fall under Asia low, we will immediately go to this wicks low. Most liquidity will be under here. I would say put your first TP right here. Will be 23,507. That's actually that wicks low. But we can react anything in between this too. So I'm gonna be very watchful once we are actually moving in this direction, how we react on this part lower. I cannot predict that before we're actually there. So once we fall, this will be, if we hit that 23,521 and we do not get any reaction off of Asia low, we will definitely come first attack this wick. And if we fall through 23,507, the next target will be actually 23,400, something like that. 420 is actually exactly in the middle of this huge range. And we could bounce off of this and then continue higher. It depends on what actually London will do. We got about 10 minutes till open, so if London decides to push us a bit lower, we will immediately come to here. We can be in here for the next 25-30 minutes at least, so be patient. If I see an adding spot, I will give you one. At this point, we're just falling further, so no place of adding. Wat heb je een huis over te rijden?
mijn konijn verstrooid. Je hebt net al gevonden van die mensen in de groentetuin. Groentjes!
So we can see that most markets are a bit down this morning, so that's why I also agree that we should fall to that low. I do want to see us continue right here. The reason why I actually want to see us fall further is because we're actually trading inside that 15 for value gap right here, or a 5 minute and a 15 right here. So I want to see us fall under that, under this wick. So I knew that we're actually continuing that move. That's what I'm thinking about right now. So we got a 15 minutes for value gap if we close below everywhere. But remember, this is still pre-session. This can always take a bit longer. Well, last Friday was a fast trade, so we do not always get it in 30 minutes. We have 4 minutes still open, so if London decides to give us that small push back down, we could get this in London open actually.
So we got about 3 more minutes till that open comes. Let's be patient. Let's see if London gives us that nice push. So do mention, once we hit Asia low, we need to be aware of what can happen. So if London pushes us straight through, that would be actually what I want to see happening. But if London decides to push us back up, we need to be careful what happens then. So I'll tape read it once we get there. So another minute and a half before we get there. So we can easily come back up in London, take that for value gap, and then continue the way lower too. So we need to be... Well, I'll say it when we get there. Maybe we just get that flush directly before even London Open starts. So 1 minute till open. Let's see if we can get that first TP. 50 seconds. So this will definitely take Asia low. Clean move down. That's 35 seconds. That's a point of Asia. Oh, that's... Oh, M and Q stopped before Asia low. NQ took it. So now, once open comes, I want to see that continuation here. So this was actually TP1. So if you want to take a small partial, you can do it right here. If you have one. Now, if London decides to continue falling, we definitely take 23.5, but London can be... can definitely also change because we just swapped sell side liquidity plus a sessions low. So if you had 2 contracts and you took one right here, that would be great, and then maybe we can continue to drag lower all the way down. So that would be at least 1 hour here, which already collected. Yeah, a bit more than 1 hour. And now let's see if we can fall, if we can keep falling through. We'll continue to trail stop this down. So I want to see how far we can take this down. So here comes second. So that would be 23,705. So if you did not take anything, so drag it down. Make sure we can keep following down. So we did not tap it yet. I believe we didn't. Or did we take equals? Did we take that out on M and Q? Oh, these are actually... No, M and Q did not take it yet. Those are... I was very close, by the way. Now I don't like this action off of it. Actually, to maintain the profits that we made, we can actually put a stop at 23,542. That would be actually already in profit. This came 0.75 of my TP. Damn. Seriously. hope you all took at least one partial off of, because this is actually a very strong push back up. So this was expected, but I did expect us to take that low. We missed it by a half a point right here on NQ. On NQ it's a bit more, I see. But still be patient, we can still come back. So we now tap the 3 minute for value gap right here. Now I do want to see that continuation back to the lows. I don't want to see us come pushing further upwards. So stops would be at 23.542 if you took a partial, and a partial is minimum 1 hour or more. So remember that always. Even though if you have to take 2 contracts off, you have to take it. We don't take anything below 1 hour as partial. We need to have that 1 hour at least. TP1 with 2 contracts, I use off 1 contract, and that's a half hour. Yeah. So remember always, if we take a partial, it needs to be 1 hour at least. If that means full everything out, that means everything out. Does not matter. Yeah, people with more than 2 contracts in, they could have taken 1 hour out of it. It's just because of the reaction we could have have here, right here. That's why I said take something off. I've seen it happen too many times that we actually take Asia and not everything, and then continue up higher, take that external liquidity one more time, and then come back down. At this point, the market still looks like it wants to go lower, so nothing's changed at this point. We just came up, we came into this gap right here. We are creating a 15 minute. We came into a 3 minutes, and now in the last 5 minutes of this 15 minute, I actually want to see that continuation. So we still got time. But for everybody that trades orb, remember, if we take partials, we always take 1 hour as a partial. The reason why is so that we actually, or at least a little bit more than 1 hour if it's possible. But this was actually a very great trade. We saw it immediately. The only thing that did not play out perfectly was actually that leaving the orb range. If we had a close that first 5 minutes, that would have been actually a huge play. You can imagine that was a 4 hour right here that we got. So this can happen. So we just take it with the good trades that we have the other times. Yeah, that was actually a 1.2 hour right there. If we got it all the way down here, that would have been a 1.8. So in the 5 minutes, we do get a value gap right here. So if we can tap this, so this is actually why we can put our stop right here now. That would be, what is it, 42? Yeah, that's exactly that point. So now we created a 5 minute value gap. I do not want to see us get above that high. So our stops are just a bit higher. So I don't want to get above this week's high. So that means this 5 minute value gap should hold, and we can fold it down again, and we can get below that low. We can actually add to this trade or get a new trade. So I didn't take partial. Should I SLB at originals or at original? Pop. That's a good question, Nicholas. If you did not take a partial, and yeah, let's wait this 7 minutes off. I'll give a bit of time. We can easily come back down in this next 7 minutes. And if you get to your break-even point, you can always close the trade if needed. So don't put it yet there. Be patient. Let's see if we can still fall further down. This market still looks bearish. So at this point, look at this 1 hour candle we created. That was a huge candle down. So we tap this one, and like I said, there's a lot of liquidity right here, so we could push easy back up, but we need to be patient and see what. I cannot predict the market before it happens, so I need to see the movement. I can see where the market goes, I can see where liquidity is, but it didn't take it yet, so yeah, let me tell you, ES did take it, right? No, it did not. The only thing is we have actually a 15-minute value gap just above here too, so there is a possibility that we tap this and continue lower. Now we tapped at 5 minutes. If we can get from this 5 minute a fast reaction back lower, that means a good sign. That means that we have that continuation. If we get above 23,542 with a 1 minute close, Nicholas, you can close it. So if you get a minute close above 23,542, you can close your trade. But at this point, be patient. I do know that there was this is actually a strong reaction off of it. I can see this too. But there were from value gaps here, so the market likes to fill these up before continuing or deciding where it wants to go. So same here, we came into the 5 minutes. I did prefer to see actually the 5 minute close all the way back out of it. That's actually a better sign, but doesn't mean that we cannot fall immediately further down right here. Do know it's only the first 10 minutes of the opening range of London, so this also means something. So we're not even get that orb range of London itself. And there is a lot of volatility at that first 15 minutes of London. Ons plan. Een tap was er, van boven en van beneden. Dus ik ga hem eerst naar boven gepakt, omdat hij er al was voor naar boven te gaan. Die heeft mij uitgestopt. Hier, met een ding. En de tap was eigenlijk ook van naar beneden te gaan, dus we gaan erin springen en een keer verder lopen. En mijn target stond hier, op dat moment. Sorry for my Flemish, guys. I sometimes do not remember to put my mic off when I'm talking to my wife. So she's still in it too. And she did not take a partial either. So, Nicholas, you're not the only one. But if we zoom out, this 15 minutes, the next 2 minutes will be definitely a sign of where the market wants to go. If this all the way comes back up that high, it's less good. If this 15 minute and we close like under that, I would prefer to close under that wick. If we can close on the Asia low again, yeah, that gives us an indication that the market still wants to do that lower part. I said before we came in the markets that this is a crucial liquidity point, and this one was. So we tapped almost both of them. I'll actually indicate next time that I put it like 2 points above or something that week. For the next time I see that happen now. Well, how many times did we actually by 5 or 6 points or something? The next time I'll put it on 10. If we have 7, we make it a round number to the higher, to the upwards part. So that would be a nice TP then. Still, we still got a minute and a half, and we were looking like we're pushing lower, so that's a good sign. But we need to wait until that is close to be sure, because I've seen minute candles do everything. So his came here, so we came in to that for value gap, and if we close lower, that means actually we have that continuation movement, and that would be actually worth to add to that position. But now we need to drag it all the way down here. So now, if you felt a little bit, and because you did take a partial and you felt some emotions, do write them down definitely in your journal today. That's okay if you didn't take a partial straight away. My TP was right here, so it was not possible to see it anyways. But always be patient. Orb can take up to 4 hours trading, so don't look at the first 15 minutes that opening comes or that I give an action. I know I try to speak everything that I see so that you actually can follow my thought processes, and it's not always easy for new traders or for traders to understand everything I see, and I understand that completely. And now I got a kitten in my hair. Last night we had a campfire outside, and my dog did something very special too. He jumped onto 2 pieces of glass. No, he was actually jumping after some kittens, after some cats that were on the roof, and he actually ran into a place where you put vegetables inside. I don't know how you call it in English. And there was, I believe, something very sharp, because he came outside and now he's limping, so he's not actually moving very great. He's keeping his left paw from the front upwards. He's not liking to put his weight on it yet. And I watched it this morning, and it looks like he has 2 huge cuts. 2 on the front and 1 on the back, the same size. Strange dog sometimes. And that at my garden, so I have no idea how he actually pulled that one off. I was quite deep. It's still bleeding from yesterday evening, so I'll probably need to take a look at that one. Yeah, just change the subject for a second so that everybody got his mind off the charts for a minute. So remember, if we're in a trade, just be calm, relaxed. Don't think about too much stuff. Just let the trade play itself out. So this was the range, by the way, from London. If we close to the downside here, that even indicates more that we will go lower. Like I said, we do not have any news, so most volatilities should be already done. Just at 10 o'clock we do have some movement. I like that we are sitting a bit sideways, so that means that we're building up liquidity again, but I do want to see the next 15-minute close actually all the way down here. We created a small 15 minutes for value gap. These do hold more value, of course, than a 5 minute. The reason why I actually want to see us fall further down here is, look, if I'll take off my, I'll remove my drawings for a second, so I can actually show you. Look, this is the reason why. Everybody can see what we're doing. We're ranging, so we're doing sideways movements. So if we don't drop below that low, we're still in that ranging part. So anything beneath this level will come back up to that level and then continue that move until we actually decide to take something. This is why I actually want to see us fall further rather fast at this point, so that we can see that continuation movement. My drawings back. So if we can fall beneath that wicks low and we continue to move lower, yeah, that means the great option for adding. Do note that first TP is rather close, but if we fall again under here, we definitely go to that next low. We got still 39 minutes in this hourly, and if we watch carefully, look how beautiful this wave actually came. So we came down, we came back up, we tapped the fair value gap an hourly right here. So if nobody saw this before we started, I did. So we tapped the 1 hour for value gap, and then we actually continued lower. What a huge candle was for an hourly, and then we now came back halfway up, so that's normal in that hourly, and then I want to see that continuation. If we still want to fall lower, of course. If it did not take enough liquidity yet, this would be the next point of liquidity, and we missed it by, like I said, a quarter of a point or something like that. We missed it. So I hope all of you understand my viewpoint and how I see it. Great. Yeah, I'm just trying to explain as nice as possible that you actually understand how markets move and that you can follow along with the market. So that this is actually how you know when the market changes its hand again, and we need to make sure that we stay in profit, or we need to reduce some of it once we get back to our BE spot or our main interest, and we see the market actually does not want to continue. This is how we actually can reduce some contracts off before we get to that BE point already. But at this point, it's building up liquidity again. So if after a drop, if it's built up liquidity, that's actually a good sign for the continuation. Always remember that. Because if it wanted to push up immediately, actually this should have pushed up directly and not stall here for 15 minutes, a half hour. Because if it was enough liquidity taken, we get actually a move. So you can see here, after this liquidity was taken on NQ, MNQ was equal highs, but NQ goes above because its contracts are more valued in. So we took liquidity and we saw immediately a push. So we did not stall, we actually pushed immediately. See, even here, we came, we pushed, we stayed a bit, we pushed lower, we stayed a bit, we pushed lower, we're staying a bit, and now we can push that. Have the next push. This is actually a point where people get insecure in their trades. So here we have to have faith in our model and just let it play out. So we're 18 watching and we only have 3 thumbs ups. Come on people, give me some thumbs. Maybe I'll get to my second book this week. So you guys can listen. Still looking which one maybe. Oh, I got actually a good one for all of you that I want you to listen. It's actually not about trading, but actually a good one about wealth. So we're all here to create wealth. We're all here to create actually freedom. And freedom means actually that you have time to spend it on what you want. That's actually true freedom. So that you don't need to spend your time working for a 9-to-5 job, but you actually can spend your time in what you wanted. So I got actually a great book that I want to share then, maybe the audio from. It's called Millionaire Mastermind Plan. This one. We still got some time anyway, so. If you never read it, this is actually a great one. So this one actually from Roger James Hamilton, very rich person too, and actually he is actually one that indicates who you can be. So it also has some insights of who you really are. Explains it very nice. It's actually quite accurate too. And how we can see each other's and it actually explains 4 points that you can have. That's being a people person, a numbers person, an idea person, so somebody that always has new ideas, somebody that actually constantly does something, so you can walk very fast and continuously doing one thing over and over again without changing any structures. Somebody that wants to read a lot of manuals and then actually can do it very quickly. So we have about 4 types mainly, and this indicates you how actually it does, and also shows you how to grow wealth. So not only by trading, but actually outside trading, and the steps how we actually get to that point. I used to have the book, but I have to rebuy it again. I lent it out to somebody, and actually the person lost it. I have no idea how you lose a book, but but they did not find it back. So they only had it for like a month or 2, 3 maybe. And they actually she didn't find it back. The only thing I don't like about it was a lot of writings in that book, so actually when I read it, we put markings inside that I actually use it when I reread the book again. So it indicates what I actually have to make sure that I do read again. So I ordered it this week, so maybe I give you guys the audio version too, that you can listen to it. So it's again, not too fast market. Great. So this is actually where people get a bit scared, so don't have faith in our model. So still be patient. Look how small these candles are getting. So it will definitely take away. So we got 10 thumbs up. Yeah, let me buy that book today. So I'll make sure you get it. Yeah, I'm actually, if I lend out a book, so I would actually treat it like my own. So if I borrow something from a person and he actually expects me to give it back, I'll actually ask him to give it back. So I don't actually love it. Millionaire Mastermind Plan, so it's this one. I'll type it. I'll give you this one. This is actually a wealth playing book. So this is actually give me a lot of insights how we spend our time and why we spend our time. So at the first stage, you see you spend a lot of time for somebody. The second stage, you get more freedom. The third stage, you spend more time again. The fourth stage, you get more freedom again. And this actually builds up like a ladder. So it shows you where you are at that wealth state. So you cannot jump from being an employee to a trillionaire at one time, so, or a billionaire. It's not possible. So you need to take those steps slowly. It's like taking I don't even know how you call it in English. I don't think it's a ladder. So instead of an escalator, something where you climb on if you want to go on a tree. Somebody can help me in this English word? Maybe I'll just look it up. Oh yeah, thank you, Carl. That's true. It was a holiday in UK. Yeah, that was mentioned last week too. But the markets were open, so this is why I actually wanted to trade. And the good thing about this is I believe we just traded. No, we did not yet. So if we go below here, that means that orb also close to the downside on London's. So we came down 3 times now. So now I do want to see that continuation. After we came back up, we slowly are grinding lower. So now I do want to see that continuation. Ja, eigenlijk hier. Bij de sluit. Dus dat worden 5 minuten en dat is eigenlijk de sluit hier. Dat wordt de candle close naar beneden. So the reason I don't want to see us stall now, so what did we do? We made actually a sideways range, we closed up, we came back down, and now after we sweep liquidity to the downside, I want to see that continuation directly after that. The reason why is because if we are ranging sideways, we tend to take out both sides of the liquidity pool. So if we take the lower side out first and then go up, I actually don't want to see that happen. I actually want to see now that continuation directly so that we don't need to take out that upper liquidity one more time. I don't say it can happen, but I prefer not to happen it, actually. And for Nicholas, if you didn't take a partial, you can still take it right now. We're actually at the same same target that I actually took that first partial. But if you are patient, you can just be patient too. And let's see if the market can actually deliver where I want to see it to go. It's actually good for the mindset. When it came back up, it did nothing and just let the market do its thing. That's always great to see. If a plan falls out completely like we expect it to, there is no better feeling than actually executing it and getting it all the way to your TP. Oh, for me, there ain't anything better of a feeling when I took of trading, of course, people. So there are better things that feel great, but for trading, if you follow a plan completely and see it get to your TP, that's actually a great feeling. So we're an hour and a half in this session, and we're still hanging around Asia low. Like Carl said, it's probably because of the banks are closed now. Is it me or is the market done? Oh. Oh, here again. If we fall below 23,507.75, we can move our stops down to 23,540, or even that last wick right here. That would be 23,563, 36. Ninety minutes in stream at this point, and we are at least at 1 hour, or should be at 1 hour at this point, and a risk-free trade. If you still have extra contracts left, stops are at or under already in profit right here, so this can only get better after an hour and a half in trade. So for the rest, this is a free trade. So I'll be on live for the next 20 minutes. So if anybody has a question, you can. Afterwards, I'll take a look what I can do with my dog. Heel lasagne in de ochtend. Weet niet. So my daughter yesterday evening, my daughter made actually pancakes. Yeah. Have a nice one, Nicholas. Enjoy your day. So keep hanging around here, so we came into for 2 minutes for value gap. Now I want to see that close again below here. That would actually mean that all these gaps actually count and that they have value. So for this week, I do got my sister's kids are coming to sleep over with me. Yeah, for a day or 3. So I hope I can do both sessions. I'll do my best. If I cannot, I'll let you guys know. The morning session is definitely doable. But because I have education too, 2 days, and they're here from Tuesday or Monday evening for this evening, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, so they will be here 3 days. I do want to make sure that I can do something with those kids, so they can be taught in a different way a little bit. So this one could be away already, so yeah. Call is probably 100% correctly, so because London's banks are closed, we're probably stalling a lot of time, so we could hang around here for another hour maybe before we actually get that movement. I'm not gonna sit around here and be patient until that happens actually. I'm just gonna let the market do its thing. I would say your stops are already at BE, so no matter what, put at least you can choose to put TP at 23,492 or full TP at 23,422. Anything in between here could actually mean that the market could come here. So it's up to you. I am not gonna sit behind the charts for the rest of the morning session. It's no use anyways. We can just let the trade do its thing. It's actually a good thing to learn to let go of your trades too. So if the market decides to go lower, we are in it. If the market decides to come back, we're actually already took a partial 1 hour half of it, and we are at BE, so we're actually clean, safe for this trade. Because trading is good, and if you're learning, it's good that we actually sit behind the charts. But once you're done with the learning curve, do know that we're trading for freedom, and freedom means time. So how longer you sit behind the charts and not doing anything, the more time actually you give to the market. And we do want to do something different than sitting behind the charts all day. Believe me, once you've done it enough, I love it every day. Actually, I cannot say I don't love it, but I still like to do something in real life too. After trading, because this is actually why we're trading, to have freedom. Freedom means time. So okay, so it's 10:15 now. I'll let the trade do its thing. If anybody has a question, I'll answer them right now still, or otherwise I'll close the stream for today. This is exactly what I was expecting, so we can actually tap now this liquidity right here. If we tap that and continue low, that's also a good sign. I don't like this 5-minute candle right here. Okay, I wish you a great London session. If you took a partial and you took profit, don't trade again today. Be grateful with what you have, and tomorrow is another day, of course, or this afternoon actually is already another session that we can still trade in if we have to. So wish you all a very great trading session for the rest of the day, and I'll see you back this afternoon.